Every part of his rational mind screamed, "Run! Get out! Forget you ever saw this! Don't ask what it's all about." But his legs didn't obey. Dark Margins presents Temple of the All-Seeing Eye by Ian Hand. 1. The Ordinary World. Devlin Walsh climbed off his mountain bike and looked up the worn sandstone steps to the imposing double doors at the top. They were flanked by classical columns, Greek or Roman, he wasn't sure. His brow furrowed. He'd ridden this road countless times on his way to the design studio where he worked, but he had never noticed this building. Could it really have been there all along? It looked old, not in a fake, themed restaurant way, but ancient, as if it had stood here quietly gathering dirt, grime, and secrets for centuries. He pulled out his phone and opened the Street View map. The hair salon was there, the halal butchers too, exactly as he remembered them. But the frame where the temple should have been wasn't. A glitch? A gap? 1 second it was the side of a kebab shop and the hair salon. The next frame, it was the butcher's window. The temple, this massive, ancient structure, simply didn't show. He blinked, swiped again. Nothing. Had it always been there? Had he really just never noticed? Something was wrong with the geometry. It sloped and twisted in ways that made his stomach lurch, angles that didn't belong in Euclidean space. The more he looked, the more he felt his perception strain, like his brain was buffering against a higher reality. He stared up the steps, the sense of déjà vu intensifying until it became nausea. Around him, the world carried on as if nothing were amiss. A woman walked her dog. A delivery man unloaded his van. 2 schoolgirls wandered by, arm in arm, deep in conversation. No one else seemed to see it. Or maybe they saw it and didn't care. Or maybe they couldn't. The air around the temple shimmered, almost imperceptibly, like it existed in 4K while the rest of the world was still in standard definition. He climbed the steps. With each footfall, the air grew thicker, denser, almost syrupy. His limbs felt heavier, as though pushing through water. At the top, the resistance suddenly vanished. Above the great black double doors was a weathered stone carving, an eye within a triangle, rays of light radiating outward. Beneath it, ancient letters were carved deep into the stone. Temple of the All-Seeing Eye. Devlin hesitated. Every part of his rational mind screamed, "Run! Get out! Forget you ever saw this! Go to the job you used to love but now hate. Keep your head down. Don't ask questions. Don't ask what it's all about." But his legs didn't obey. He reached out, pushed open the doors, and stepped inside. 2. The temple. The moment he passed the threshold, the air changed. It was cool and dry, like the breath of ancient catacombs. The noise of the city vanished. No footsteps, no car horns, no dogs barking in the distance. Only the soft pat of his trainers on stone. The corridor wound gently inward. No windows, yet everything was illuminated with a dim, sourceless light. Devlin felt no fear, only the surreal sensation of having stepped into something immense, unending. He passed alcoves of stone figures, not quite statues, not quite alive. Blurred amalgamations of form, like half-finished ideas sculpted in a dream. Eventually he reached the atrium. Flagstone floor, vaulted ceilings, the same unseen light. Occupying the heart of the temple was an eye-shaped pool, vast and still. The surface was black, but not dark. Then the monks appeared. They came from nowhere, hooded and robed, faceless. They moved soundlessly to the pool's edge, each holding long, forked staffs. They did not speak, they simply observed. When Devlin tried to ask who they were, what this place was, his voice made no sound. Still, he lingered, because it felt like truth. Time unraveled. Devlin no longer knew how long he had been in the temple. Hours? Days? Years? Time had become a threadless web. Hunger faded, thirst never came. Only the pool remained, vast, inky, alive, and the silent monks who circled it like satellites around a black sun. Eventually he realized he was no longer remembering his life. He was reconstructing it. Details grew fuzzy. What was his flat number? The name of that friend who told bad jokes? What year was it? He felt himself bleeding into the temple. Not physically, not yet. But something inside him, identity, linearity, had begun to dissolve. He thought of the job that was grinding him down, the brother he hardly saw, the friends who let him down too often, the boyfriend who had left him for someone else. He thought, if I vanish here, will anyone even notice? 3. The descent. A monk inclined its staff toward the pool. The surface rippled and reality peeled back. Devlin stared into its inky depths and saw the endless reaches of intergalactic space, a black ocean strewn with fire. The image drew him inward, into the freezing emptiness between worlds. Atoms split, cells divided, tendrils of DNA unfurled like serpents in slow motion. He saw bacteria bloom on boiling worlds, viruses leaping between species, forests spreading like time-lapse frost across continents. Then he was inside a bloodstream, red cells pulsing past like balloons on a current. Then deeper still, into the vaulted chambers of a single neuron where lightning arced through silence. Cities flickered to life beneath him, patterns of light, movement, heat, fear, celebration, war. He saw time erode mountains, carve rivers, raise tribes, and topple empires. He rose above Earth, no longer a home, but a single node in a vast lattice. The vision carried him outward through nebulae, through clouds of dust and ice and shattered moons. Galaxies collided in apocalyptic embrace. Gas giants burned like lanterns. Suns birthed and devoured their own worlds. He saw civilizations rise and vanish in a heartbeat, their monuments crumbling to starlight. He saw crystal entities adrift in the void, singing in pure vibration, a symphony of geometry and gravity. Empires of jelly light weaving philosophies from the tides of dark matter. And for a moment, their thoughts became his own. At the edge of awareness, he sensed other planes, universes folded beside his like pages in an infinite book. Machines mined the petrified bones of a creature the size of a sun. From the surfaces of distant worlds, glistening structures rose, vast spires of metal and light, linking planets in a web of interstellar highways where moons of alloy and fire circled like obedient sentinels. He saw Earth, and not Earth, dimensions layered like onion skin, each holding a version of himself, older, younger, joyful, broken. He saw lovers he'd never met, children who might have been, streets he'd never walked but somehow remembered, worlds where he had died at birth, worlds where he had never been born, worlds where the temple stood atop high mountains and men worshipped robed monks of stone and silence. Space folded, time collapsed, constellations collided, asteroids sheared through planets, black holes fed upon galaxies while nebulae bloomed and died in the same breath. Storms of methane lashed alien shores as crystal mountains toppled into violet seas. A tree, taller than imagination, crashed through a forest of light. And through it all, he felt the vast indifference of creation, infinite, impassive, uncaring. His name dissolved, his memories scattered like dust in solar wind. Earth became a word without meaning. There was nothing left but existence, and still it hungered. The monks turned toward him as the vision faded. Something vast and cold brushed his mind, and in the endless quiet, a question came, not in sound, but in thought. Do you understand? Epilogue. Devlin Walsh's family filed a missing persons report. They shared his photo online. Friends posted memories and prayers. There were appeals, interviews, moments of false hope. But time, as it always does, wore down the edges of grief. The world moved on. His mother stopped setting a place for him at Sunday dinner. His sister had a child, and the baby was never told about the uncle who vanished. The graphics studio hired someone new. His landlord cleared his flat. Bin bags piled where his books had been. Eventually, Devlin became just another face in a long-forgotten folder marked Cold Cases. No one remembered the temple. No one asked why a building disappeared from the maps. No one questioned the blurred satellite image between the butcher's and the hair salon. But every so often, someone would post on an obscure forum or message board. Anyone remember a strange building near Finch Street? Like a temple? I swear I saw it once, but now it's just an empty lot. And always, without fail, there would be no replies. Somewhere beyond time, Devlin knelt before a silent pool. His name, his face, his life long since forgotten. He had understood. No longer Devlin, but an eye now open, a lens now focused, a witness through which the universe beheld itself.